I believe creative projects come into our lives at certain times in order to push us to where we're meant to go. But we are the ones who get in the way. It might be making your first song, a film, a business idea that you have, or maybe you got inspired by something you saw. Or maybe it's a long-held dream that you've never given yourself permission to pursue. There's a fear or doubt so strong that you wait for weeks, months, and even years. I feel that many of us wait because we're intimidated by all of the work that will come with the project, the new things we'll have to learn, intimidated by ourselves and our own capability to do it. Ultimately, we don't think it's worth it. But I want to show you why it's worth it, why actually starting that project is the best move to make. As an artist with many interests in different creative endeavors, I've had to get over the hurdle of what is sometimes the hardest part, just starting. So let me help you with that step. First, let's understand why you need to stop waiting. You have to stop waiting because now is the best time. When a traffic light turns green, you don't go in 5 seconds or 10 seconds. You go right when it turns green. And just like a traffic light is a signal that we have to perceive, you have to perceive the signals from your soul. Sometimes we use waiting as an excuse to wait until things get better, until circumstances change, or when we have more time. It's the "I'll wait until X happens" mentality. But ultimately, that kind of waiting game is an illusion. It's an illusion that you're escaping something, but really you're just kicking the can down the road. And so we distract ourselves, or we put other things in substitution for that thing that our soul is calling us towards. And the problem is, while we're waiting for something to change, the reality is that the project is waiting for us, and we are the thing that has to change. Our active decision that we're making towards the project has to change. The reason why we don't listen to that green light signal from the soul is because we're afraid. But the fear, the amount of fear, is an indicator as to what lies on the other side. The greater the challenge, the greater the triumph, and the greater the hero. And really what's on the other side is a journey. It is a journey of building your body. And when I say body, I don't mean the physical body, although physical body, physical health, that is also important for the artist's journey. But when I say building body, I mean building your body of work. A lot of us feel like we're meant for something more, like we're meant to be doing something. That's why we have this calling for this project. We feel like we're meant to be doing something even if it's not necessarily happening. We're feeling the magnitude of what will be the journey of building our body of work. And it takes a lot of work. It takes hours. It takes weeks, months, years. And again, the longer you wait, the longer you postpone this progress, the progress that you need to make in order to build your body of work. Having your own body of work as an artist is important for many reasons. First of all, it is extremely empowering. This is something that you can call your own. It is under your name, different from having an interest or a hobby or helping others with their projects. You can bring this out into the world and say, this is me, this is what I achieved, this is what I made. Now, I always talk about creativity and making art. You never want to do it just for other people. You need to make things that you love, make things for yourself, and that is important. And if you make something from the authentic soul, from the authentic heart, then you can proudly bring that out into the world. Have something that authentically represents you and your creativity, who you are as an artist, and you can show that to others. Others can experience that. Others can see who you are. And so you have physical work that represents you as an artist. Another thing is the achievement that having your own body of work says. You have to lead something of your own project. No one's going to be over your shoulder making sure that you get your project done. I mean, unless it's me. I'm over your shoulder right now. But that's up to you. Someone can have the most amount of physical trainers in the world, but not a single one of them is going to be able to lift that weight for them. I want you to look at your favorite artists and look at their bodies of work. And what you'll see is that their work changes over time, and you see how they evolve as an artist. But in order for that evolution to happen, you need time with the projects, time to create the projects. But that won't happen unless you allow it, unless you start that first project. And so you have to build your body of work one project at a time. And with each project throughout your body of work, you will change as an artist. And that leads me into my next point, your skill set. You have to improve your craft over time. And by this, I don't mean on a technical level. I don't necessarily mean studying all the rules within your medium, your craft. I mean working on your craft as in the evolution of your relationship with your creative spirit. This means getting closer to your own soul. Working on your craft is learning how to better bring out the infinite creative genius that is already within you. It's not something that you have to build. The only thing you have to build is your relationship to it. And this happens as you do more work, as you do the projects throughout time. And I personally believe that experience is the best form of education. And so again, you can have an interest, you can have a hobby, you can help others in this particular medium of work, but unless you do your own project, unless you lead your own project and learn what it means to make a piece of art that is authentic of you, then you won't have access to specific artistic lessons that are waiting to be learned by you. I believe that there are some things that you can only learn in the journey of actually committing to a creative project, because they all call to us. It's our soul calling us somewhere that wants to go somewhere, to experience something, to learn something. When I was in film school, after every film that I completed, I would reflect back and see, okay, what were the lessons that I was meant to learn? And then I incorporated those into my next film, into my next project. I would be aware of something that happened in one film and then take it to the next. And I would notice myself evolve as an artist. But this can't happen for you unless you actually do the project, unless you actually start the project and move forward. You need this time for this artistic evolution to take place. There are lessons that you are meant to learn. And this brings me into my next point. This project is going to bring you where you're meant to go. You don't need to wait for that certainty of knowing how everything's going to play out in terms of knowing that starting this project is going to bring me this specific thing. You don't need to wait for that. In fact, that could be what's stopping you right now from starting and committing. Let me ask you something. What if you're imagining something that you think this project will grant you, but in reality, that thing will actually come to you in 3 to 4 projects down the line. But this first project is integral to how you'll get there. But you never start because you're not certain of how things are going to play out. And this is all to say that you don't know. We don't know. Only God does. But that faith and that trust in the timing of this project is what we ultimately need to have. Trust in the signal, the green light signal of your soul with this project. You free yourself of the need to be certain of how the details will play out. And instead you can use that mental energy towards the project itself, towards your performance with the project. Your soul is not calling you towards that project for no reason. That feeling, that green light signal should be enough, not the certainty in the details. Like I said, now is the time. That light is green, and now is the time to go down the road, even if you don't know where that road will necessarily lead. You don't know the good that will come of it. The feeling from your soul should give you enough confidence to commit to it, which makes this project a reliable outlet of your creative energy, of your time, of your presence, of your focus and your engagement, because this is, again, something that is yours. Like a plant, if you allow this, the water, the sunlight, the soil to grow, then you will reap the fruits of your labor. Because of the things we've gone through so far, this is a reliable outlet, a reliable source of your time and commitment in a world, in a maze that we find ourselves in as an artist, with all of the questions. Do I apply for this internship? What do I do for money? Where do I move? All of these existential questions, these questions that can feel existential, having your own creative project that you commit your time to is ultimately something that is guaranteed in the journey. And that is part of what makes it reliable. The fact that we know we have to confront this. We have to confront doing our own work, going through this journey of building our own body. If you like what I'm talking about right now, consider subscribing to my newsletter, link in the description, where I write free blogs for you. And having this as an outlet for your time is going to help you in terms of where you distribute that time and energy. Because let's be real, we live in a world full of distractions. I think for a lot of us, we've lost the sense of what it means to have a hobby, what it means to have an interest, something that we can be excited to come home to, something that we can be excited to pursue, something like video games, something that sparks that magic in our life, something that our soul genuinely has fun doing. I think many of us have lost that. But if you commit to that project that you know is waiting for you, then many of us will rediscover that magic. And instead of doing the things, the activities that maybe are nice in the meantime, but afterwards we're not spiritually fulfilled, and maybe we even know we shouldn't be doing those things or engaging in those activities, we can replace it with this true, meaningful venture that we know has been calling to us. Our souls have desires and urges pointing us towards things that are ultimately good for us, but we don't always listen. We don't always listen to those green light signals. But if we listen for this project that is waiting for you, this project that your soul is calling you towards, then we will have something new in our lives that we can proudly and in a very exciting manner pursue and confront. Again, like I said before, sometimes the hardest part is just starting. If you're able to carve out that time, and not even carve out time, just replace it with other things that you're doing, we will find more excitement and fulfillment from it in our lives. And ultimately, this project is going to bring a great progress to our life. I think a lot of us don't commit and confront this project that is waiting for us because we have perfectionism within us, something that we don't feel confident in ourselves, in our performance with this project, to make it worth it. And so we think that by avoiding this project, by waiting, we think that's just going to go away, that we don't have to confront that. But the reality is, it doesn't go away. That perfectionism is always going to be there. But this project is an opportunity to confront that. And again, many of us maybe have been putting it off for weeks, months, and years. But by committing to this project, we allow ourselves the progress in that journey of that perfectionism. Again, we make excuses. We don't have enough resources. We don't have enough time. We don't have enough skill. But the root of those excuses does not go away. If anything, it becomes stronger the more that we feed into that idea, into that voice. But by committing to and starting this project, we allow ourselves the progress to become the person who we're meant to become from this project and from this journey. Let me tell you something very important. Momentum does a lot. Momentum within this journey of this artist's journey, this journey of building your work. And so if you're questioning whether or not it's worth it to embark on this project that your soul is calling you towards, if you're not sure if it's worth it just for this one project, then try to reframe it, try to look at it at a bigger picture. Because again, just like the fear and resistance is an indicator with this project as to what's on the other side, it's also an indicator as to the magnitude of this journey that is on the other side. And so think of it in those terms. What is that worth to you? Is it not worth overcoming that resistance that you have with this one project? The momentum that is created by that will help you and carry you into working on the project after that, and the one after that, and all of the projects that are going to make up your beautiful body of work. The reason it's calling to us is because the soul wants to do this thing and everything else that's after it. And I think that many of you guys watching right now are struggling with that journey, with confronting that journey. And I will leave you with this. That desire that you have in your heart, that vision, that dream, that idea, again, whether it's been there for weeks or months or years or even decades, rather than it just being a simple desire, look at it as a promise from your soul. A promise that if you embark on this, it will lead you to good things, genuinely good things. And I say good because good things for the soul. If they weren't good things for the soul, then your soul wouldn't be calling you there. It is a promise of a path, of a journey full of excitement, full of fulfillment. And again, sometimes the hardest part is just starting that first project. But look at it at the bigger picture. Look at it as you confronting that journey that you know is meant for you. That project isn't calling you for no reason. And you're not watching this video for no reason. This video is just a mirror for yourself, for your soul, showing you where it's trying to guide you. And just because we ignore those signals, just because we try to avoid the green light signals from the soul, doesn't change the truth. It doesn't change that they're coming. It doesn't change the direction that our soul wants to bring us. And until we confront that, until we actually go There's always going to be that unrest. And so I ask you to start that project because it's waiting for you. It has been. So stop waiting for it. You are the thing that must change. And as you advance in this artist journey, you transform as a human as well. Because being an artist is so much more than creativity. It's so much more than the art. It's wisdom, it's courage, it's discipline. It's being a warrior. And so this project has so much more behind it than just the project itself. So go, confront the project, build your body of work, and dream on. I'm doing a Q&A video pretty soon, so ask me some questions in the comments that you'd like me to answer. Subscribe to this channel to watch more content like this. Check out my Patreon for exclusive content, and I will see you in the next video. Dream on. God bless. Peace out.